What's up, Raiders? It's TristenWulf. I hope you guys are having a blast starting out with Raid Shadow Legends, especially if you're using my download link, which, are you not? Are you not using my link? Guys, if you started this game and you didn't use mine or another recent creator's download link to start this game, you are missing out. You want to make sure you use the link. It's in the description of this video, or you can just scan that QR code right up there. Download Raid with this link and get the best start to 2025. I'm telling you, even if you're a little ways into the game, just stop. Just uninstall and use the link and get started, because if you use that link, you will get 3 epic heroes to start out. That's how generous Raid Shadow Legends is being with the anniversary of March. You will start out with the legendary hero Eleanor, a super strong poison detonating, applying an HP burning hero who will take your bossing to the next level. You will start out with Rector Drath, who's an epic hero, but really, if you want to get right down to brass tacks, she is a legendary hero in epic heroes clothing. So it's like having a legendary hero that's easier to level. I'm not just giving you lip service here. Check any tier list and look at how well Rector Drath is rated. You get her for free, and also for free, when you log into the game and you've completed your tutorials and you get back to the lobby screen, go over these little dashes on the side and go over here to the promo code. Now, I can't enter a promo code because I've already entered mine for today, but in this promo code blank, you want to enter the words Supreme 6. You enter Supreme and the number 6, and you will get for free the legendary hero Supreme Gallic. Now, I know you're probably hearing a lot about Monkey King or there's lots, right? There's lots of promo codes, and you can jump in my Discord, which is also linked, and look at all the different options for what heroes you can get. But I'm telling you, Supreme Gallic is insane. Like, of all of them, if I could go back in time and get Supreme Gallic over the hero I started with, I would totally do it. So make sure you pick up Supreme Gallic. That's 2 legendary heroes and an epic. Wait, what's the third? Oh, wait, that's right. Throughout the month of March, you will be able to do the Alice Chase event. It is not too late for you to do this. This will be going on into early April. 7 days of gameplay, and you will get Alice the Wanderer, a crazy strong legendary hero for free. That's 3 legendary heroes and an epic hero right out of the gate just for starting. And in addition to getting Alice, you'll also get her perfect soul, as well as some other things to help level her up. We'll get into explaining that later, but let me tell you, it's fantastic, the start you're going to get in this game. So why wait? Use the link, download now, or uninstall and re-download. Just start a new account and get in there and enjoy Raid with this insane start. It is such a powerhouse start. You could be free to play and not run out of things to do for a really long time. So what's stopping you? Give it a chance. Don't listen to the haters. Give it a chance. I think you'll fall in love with it just like I have. But what we're here talking about is, after you've gotten this start, what do you do next? Where are you going to go? Well, there is so much to do in raids. So many different things. There's more PvE in this game than you can shake a stick at, and I can shake a stick at a lot of things. So today we're going to talk about the campaign. Plain and simple, the campaign is the story of Raid Shadow Legends, and you'll find it here under this battle tab in the bottom right hand corner. It's the first button you'll see is the campaign, and this is where you're going to spend probably the majority of your time and stamina for the first couple weeks of the game. This is where you will get gear, level units, and learn the story of the game and the basics of how your units work. The tutorial is going to force you to play a little bit of it. But I want to go over the different aspects of the campaign, the things you will find in it, and how to milk it for everything possible. First things first, in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll notice a little tab that says Normal. When you click on it, you will see there's a Normal, Hard, Brutal, and Nightmare version. They are all the same levels. I haven't even finished Nightmare yet, and I've been playing for over a week. Just progressively harder, but with better gear and rewards and better XP. You'll start out at Normal. And you'll notice on each stage, there's a little symbol in the bottom left-hand corner. This cues you in on what kind of gear can be found. Like stage 1, it's got a little heart symbol. This is the symbol for HP gear. This is the gear that lets you boost the HP of your units. And here's the attack set gear. And defense gear, crit set for giving you bonus crit damage, speed set, accuracy set, etc. and so forth, all the different sets. Now, it's not all the different sets. Raid has got a crazy amount of gear. You can cook and chef up some awesome teams with the dozens and dozens of different gear set options this game gives you, but these are the fundamental basic ones, up to and including the lifesteal set, which is pretty sought after. Now, when you go into a level, let's just take a peek at the lifesteal level first. In the level, you'll see that there are 7 stages to each level. Each stage focuses on a specific type of gear. If I farm stage 1, I will get lifesteal gear that will be 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star on normal mode. You can see as you move up to higher modes, it's still the same thing, but it's 3, 4, and 5-star gear. And on nightmare mode, you can farm all the way up to 6-star gear, but it's expensive and hard to do. Don't fret it. Just work your way towards getting towards brutal first. All right. So this is where you can get your gear, and you can focus on types: your swords, your helmets, your shields, all the way down to the last stage, which just has the lifesteal symbol on it. This is the big boss stage, and it's random. You could get boots, you could get armor, completely random what you get here. Now, each level will offer different gear. There's something about shields that this game seems to prioritize a little bit more, so when you're eventually farming just to level units, you're going to pick the strongest, highest stage that you can farm, and you're probably going to farm stage 3 of that level. And the reason is that you can sell shields for more gold, or sorry, more silver than you can the other items. But early on, you're going to focus on just clearing through it and then going back and farming gear that helps your team. Another thing is the stars. You'll notice these levels are all 3-star, but if I go over to Nightmare, you know, I haven't quite gotten 3-star on some of the stages. When you go into the stage, it will tell you what is required to get 3 stars. First, you get 1 star just for beating the stage. You get 2 stars if you beat the stage and no one dies. And the big one, 3 stars, is if you beat the stage, no one dies, and you have only 2 heroes on the team. Like, say I take Alice and Kale, and I go in and I beat the stage and nobody dies, I will get all 3 stars. And why is that important? Well, there is somewhat of a battle pass, a reward system for beating it. You can see it down here, where as you collect stars, you fill in the star counter all the way up to the point where you will get a sacred shard. XP boosters, and these are on every single level. Chests, shards, more chests, diamonds, all kinds of stuff to fill you up here. So when you're starting out, I strongly recommend you just push it as far as you can push it, and once you have beaten normal, then you slide over to hard mode. Once you have beaten or gotten most of the way through hard mode, you're probably good to go back to normal and to try to 2-man clear it for the stars, but don't obsess on it. Don't waste resources chasing the stars early on. It's nice to be able to get these summoning shards. You will eventually get it, right? Try to focus on just leveling your units and getting yourself to the point where you can farm brutal. The reason you want to farm brutal is eventually, once you've cleared everything, you're going to go into brutal. You're probably going to run stage 12-3 just for the most XP, and you're going to run your solo clear unit, who is probably going to be your starter unit. If you are unsure about your starter unit, you maybe want to re-roll or restart to get the right starting unit, check out my video on which starting unit to pick. I will put that in the description of the video as well. But I recommend either Kale or Aethel. They are 2 of the best clears for this, but any of them really could work. But your goal is to level up your Kale. And I know it's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard. You're going to get all these legendary heroes, right? All these legendary heroes, and you're going to have a hard time deciding which one you're going to 6-star. And it feels weird to go with a rare hero, a 3-star rare hero, when you got all these legendaries. But trust me, it is so much easier to level up your rare hero, and Kale and Aethel are able to solo clear this content. And what does that mean? What does it mean they can solo clear it? It means you can run fodder. You can run 3 random units just to level them. We're going to call them chickens, because when you level up heroes, you use chickens to level them up, and these are basically walking chickens. And you can start the fight, run it through, and watch how strong Kale is. Watch how easily he clears once he's leveled up. Killed our first fight, and you got your auto button in the corner. You can turn on 2x speed or 1x speed. There's an info button down here if you want to see a little bit of information about the bosses you're fighting, the effects that you have on them, the buffs and debuffs. If you're sitting here staring at this this little cross sword and you want to know what that is, you can click the info button, look at the buffs and debuffs, and see what that cross sword is. So there's a key to all your buffs. But you'll notice Kale soloed the whole thing, killed everybody, and my fodder ran up to level 6. All right, I keep doing this until they're max level. Then I go to the tavern and I fuse them and make them all, make them level 2. And then I lather, rinse, repeat. The way you level units in this game is you raise up the trash units, the chickens, the fodder units, high up enough that you can then fuse them to make your level 50 units into level 60, your level 40 units into level 50, etc. and so forth. And this is one of the best ways to do it, is this chicken walking, we'll call it. So that's a great way to get units, and you can also focus your walking. Although stage 12 is going to get you the most XP, and stage 12-3 will get you the highest value item as far as selling it. So this is going to be your maximum efficiency for earning silver and farming fodder. You don't have to do this one. If you're like, man, I would have such a good lifesteal set if I had an attack armor. Well, you can just back out and go over to the lifesteal phase right here. Click on it. You can see it's a lifesteal set, and I need lifesteal armor, so I will select the armor phase. Now, this brings me to something else you can do in this phase, right? You see this here, where it says super raids? If you check the box that says super raids, you'll notice the stamina it costs to do this goes from 8 stamina to 16 stamina. That's because you're effectively running the fight twice internally. You're doubling the cost, but you're doubling the reward. It's a chance for 2 pieces of armor to drop. The XP I earn is double what I would normally get, and it costs twice the stamina. So it's just a much more efficient way to speed farm. And once you know you can farm a level without losses, once you can walk your chickens and not lose your kale and farm it, this is a great way to not just only farm the level, but to farm the level and get double rewards. We'll just jump in and do this one. I love this boat scene. This is great. Pirates, am I right? Okay, so, oh no, my chickens are getting slaughtered. Hang in there, chicken. You can survive. Surely we take this guy to the end. Now, when I said earlier that you can 3-star if you have both of your heroes survive till the end, pro tip, Rector Drath can bring heroes back to life. So if you use Rector Drath and Kale gets killed and Rector Drath brings him back to life and then you finish the level, it counts. Both were alive at the end, so you get the reward. But you see, I got 2 lifesteal armors, a 4-star with defense, I guess, maybe for a defense scaler, and a 3-star with res on it. Not that thrilled about it. Right from this screen, if you don't like the piece, you can sell it. If you want. You can also sell it later. And I got the silver. There's also a chance while farming these that you can get some units, right? It shows them here on the right. You can get from this stage Templar, Drill Master, Militia, and Yeoman, right? Eventually, one of the best stages to farm is the Dreadlands, because in the Dreadlands, there's a chance you can get the 3-star rare unit, War Maiden, who is a really strong unit later on. She is one of the few 3-stars. There are a handful of them. Look at Kale, look at Aethel. There are a handful of 3-stars who are really busted good in this, and you're going to find that War Maiden, with her ability to place defense breaks on all enemies, is going to let you power through a lot of content. So you might want to consider spending some time farming for War Maiden in the Dreadlands once you get to Brutal as well. But what about Nightmare? Well, the problem with Nightmare is, you see on Brutal, if I wanna farm Brutal stage 3, I can easily farm 3 fodders. You just saw me do it, right? And if I super rate it, these guys would be almost just a shade away from level 10 in one run. So I can really power level some stuff here, and it costs 16 stamina per run. But if I switch it up to Nightmare, well, you can't see it here because I haven't gotten there yet, but let's just look at level 2. Look what it costs to do Nightmare. It is 32 stamina. It's twice the stamina. 16 for a single or 32 for a super raid. So it's very expensive, and it takes a really good team. Eventually you'll get to the point where you can two-man it pretty reliably, and I assume eventually we'll get to the point where we can solo it, but that's going to take some insane down the road power. Early on, you will be able to farm more efficiently. It's better to farm 2 guys on Brutal for 16 than 3 guys on Brutal for 16 than it is to farm 2 guys on Nightmare for 32. So I'm not even kidding. For now, just stick with Brutal. There is something else to know about Brutal. You see our rewards in Nightmare, right? We got units, gear, and some silver. But in Brutal, there's a chance for you to get mystery shards too, which can let you summon a lot of the staple units, a lot of the units you need to walk for chickens, a lot of the summons you need to do for daily summons. The mystery shards, being able to walk 3 units at a time, being able to farm easily, having it not waste your resources. I'm telling you guys, don't sweat Nightmare. You will get there eventually, but that's maybe like 3 or 4 weeks away. For right now, you want to get to the point where you can master normal, hard, and eventually brutal. Once you get to Brutal, now you got time to start grinding your gear, because in Brutal, that's where you can get 5-star gear, right? Normal, you can only get 3-star gear. Hard, you can only get 4-star gear. But once you have access to the 5-star gear, 4 and 5-star gear will really start taking your units to the next level. You'll feel better about leveling that gear up. You won't feel as wasteful on your resources. You'll be able to target farm the gear you want. And most importantly, you'll be able to walk those chickens in order to get the in order to get your units leveled up, right? I mean, you're starting out with 1, 2, 3 legendary heroes, an epic hero, and your main hero. It's 5 heroes. You've got to level up. If you're not going to swipe, you're going to need to grind, and you should be able to level. It seems like a lot, right? Fusing these units into that unit, into these units into that unit, and merging them all together to get the 1 unit you need, and now you need that 5 more times to get to level 6. It feels like a lot. I know it's a grind, but one of the nice things is you can do this away from keyboard, guys. When you click battle, you will have these multi-battles, and you can set up your multi-battle, and you can tell it to automatically sell the gear if you don't want to keep the gear, if you just want to make silver on it. You say you've got all of the lifesteal shields you could ever want. You can tell it to sell it. You can set it to filter, so you can say sell all the gear that I find that is level 3-star and below, but keep legendaries and mythics, right? And then it'll only sell the trash and keep the rest. You can say you go to the armor stage, right? We needed that lifesteal armor, we need this defensive armor, but we need it with an HP main stat, right? So you can go into the multi-battle, set your filters, and say, I only want 4, 5, and 6-star armor. That is, you know what, we'll keep all rarities, but we want to make sure that that we get a primary stat of defense. So for the armor, we're going to sell anything that isn't defense HP, or so I don't, maybe I'll keep, it's defense armor, I don't want attack stat. And you can hard focus on only keeping the armor you want, so you don't have to filter through a bunch of trash later, right? Really lets you intimately control what you keep and what you decide not to keep. You can tell it to automatically swap out heroes when they hit max level. You click on this. Pardon me. Let me make some room. Multi-battle, edit queue. And you can say, once this hits max level, once my unit hits max level, this one goes in. And once she hits max level, this one goes in. And once she hits max level, this one goes in. So while you're AFK, you are automatically swapping out your chickens and farming up to 15 units. So you can automatically have it auto farming in the background for you. You can tell it to continue even if you lose a fight. Be careful about this. If you farm a level that's too high for you, you don't want to come back to all your stamina got wasted on losses. You can tell it to use gems to auto restart the fights. Again, be careful. Gems are a precious resource. I recommend you don't spend gems to restore your stamina early on. You'll get enough free stamina. And enable super raids if you want to make sure. You can see in the background it's changing it from the super raid and 8 and 16 if you want to do the high-end raids, which pretty much almost everybody will. So all of this is built into the farm. And team setup button. This team setup button will allow you to have intimate control over your team, right? So this is my first team. You can click on this little abacus here. This section will let you have intimate control over setting what skills are being used. If the first round you don't want them to use a skill, you can turn it off. On the second round, you can have them do other specific skills. You can say never ever use your S2, only use your S1. You can give intimate control of your heroes to set up specific fights. Now, it's not that big of a deal in campaign, but in other fights, you're going to find it makes it so much easier. If you're running the fight and you're saying, okay, she always puts up a barrier, but the first thing the boss does is strip it, you can actually set your team. You can organize it so the first round, she'll just S1, and then after the boss does the strip, the next round she'll put up her barrier, and you don't have to worry about manualing it a little bit. It'll auto as if you were here controlling the fight. You can plan out the fight ahead of time. How crazy insane is that? Like I said, don't worry about that for campaign. I just wanted to show you that this feature is here, and you can set up multiple teams with multiple different plans, so you can select the one you want to use for a specific job. Madness, guys. It is crazy good. If you're wanting to level a specific hero that you just pulled, like say you want to farm Rector Draft, you can type it and find it, because you tell you what, you know, you're looking for your heroes in this list, and it is a little bit daunting how many heroes there are. So if you're looking for a specific one, you can use the filter feature to find it. You can say, hey, show me only 3 stars. I'm going to be working on leveling my 3 stars today. Oops. So I can just hit filter, I can hit 3 stars, hide the filter, and now I can assign all of my 3 stars to the fight. There you go, guys. Simple as that. And last thing, of course, is the champion button. Well, you know, the sort button if you want to sort by rank, rarity, affinity, whatever. But this champion button is if after a fight you fail, your Kale isn't strong enough, right? You can click on your Kale, and then you can click the champions button, and it'll take you straight to the champion stream where you can see what's wrong with your Kale. You can put him on better gear. You can mess around with his masteries. You can try to check out his skills and go, you know what, maybe I need to skill him up some more. We can slide over to the tavern and start working on skilling up our unit, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves. I just want to talk about the battles today and hopefully shed some light on how the campaign works. I hope this has helped to give you a pretty good, clear picture as to how your first couple weeks of raid will shape up. Clearing the campaign, how to find the gear that you want, how to farm the gear that you need, how to get the specific pieces you want, and how eventually to get 3 stars in everything to collect those sweet, sweet rewards until eventually you're at brutal 12-3, farming your fodder and leveling your units with the max level chickens that you'll be walking even while you're away from keyboard. So that's it, guys. That is the campaign video. Remember, if you want to have the best start, ooh, look at that, they're all max level. So time to edit and ditch these guys. I really need to set a filter to just swap them out. Remember, use that promo code, use that link in the description of the video, use that QR code, but for the love of God, get started with mine or another creator's promo code so you can start this game. Mine will give you Eleanor, mine will give you Rector Draft, and you'll be able to use Supreme 6 to get Supreme Gallic, and you'll be able to do the Alice Chase to get Alice the Wanderer for a start with 3 legendary heroes and 1 legendary hero in Epic Heroes Clothing Rector Draft. It's the best start you could want. There is no better time to start raid than right now. March is the anniversary month. Polarium is being crazy generous, and there is so much happening right now. I think you are going to have so much fun with this game. Just give it a shot. I think you're going to love it. I know I have. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, Raiders.